Well, a very good evening, race fans, and welcome to the Super VoRmula SVR Racing's round 2 of our brand new, all new season and all new racing discipline. My name is Webbo, here, as you may have guessed, host of the channel and main commentator, of course, for this Super VoRmula challenge. For those of you new to our racing, this is for PSVR2 users exclusively. And so you will see a lot more active driving, a lot more mistakes, simply because it is so terrifically difficult, and the sensation of speed is immense under those conditions. Just looking at the Azul team at the moment as they run through, the team made up of Tequila Monkey and Arya. Welcome to the big boss and to Israel Borges, who are already here in the channel and cheering us all on. Borges here for Cabbage Corp, of course, but anybody else here for a specific team, do give us a shout out and I'll make sure I mention you if you're with us live here on the channel. We have a championship, of course, having had the one race so far, and tonight it will be a 10-minute qualifying, followed by, of course, a standard length race. Next week will be the first of our sprint races, so we look forward to that. Vader is on top of the championship at the moment, having got that first win under his belt. Of course, he has 21 points, and on 15 points is Tequila Monkey, who is currently on screen right now. Tequila Monkey in second on 15 with his teammate Arya on 13 points. 93 is in fourth with 12. Grizzle in fifth position with 10 points. Then comes QT on 9. Safrid, team boss, of course, of Team Safrid, is 7th place with 8 points. In 8th place with 7 points, Revelit, Vader's teammate. And then we have Jose Diaz, Zad Sodat, Vicinity, Mario, and Soulshock have all scored points. Mikhail yet to score points, but we will hopefully see some points from Mikhail. And of course, that means then for our Constructors' Championship, that puts Darkside Racing on top with 28. But level on points with Azul Racing. So a joint first position at the moment, but of course on victory count back it goes to Darkside. Tamiya Racing Factory have 21 points, definitely still very much with a shout. We have 9 more races to go in this season, so it's anybody's still. Then comes Cabbage Corp in 4th position with 16 points. Team Safrid have 13 points, Vortex on 5, and Skynet have 4 points. Well, I hope that you are looking forward to this tonight. I see we've had a mention from Hunter's Hut and from Reed. We've got another supporter of Cabbage Corp, and then Woe Grizzle especially. Hunter's Hut saying, well, Grizzle looking good on and off the track. Well, where are you seeing off the track? That's what I want to know for Hunter's Hut. Well, here is Woe Grizzle then. Let's join him as he heads down the start-finish straight. And this beautiful Cabbage Corp livery. Cabbage Corp, a reference to the Avatar, The Last Airbender movie. And the potential future of the cabbage holder, the Cabbage Corp Industries, there, as he gets a personal best time. Let's join him on board with his beautifully textured Puma gloves as well, and down into the dip, the semi-hairpin there of turn 5 right now. We then run uphill. Be careful not to invalidate your lap going over the crest of turn 8 as we climb into the blind entry, almost flat turn 9. And often you will see drivers losing the car over that crest, just not anticipating where to finish. Braking very heavily, slightly late potentially there for Grizzle, because he had his finger held hard on the overtake button as well, which you can see lower right, just inside the track map area. Big tank slapper from Grizzle. The car and track tyre temperature combination is not quite where he wants it, through the Mickey Mouse chicane at the end of the lap, and it's not good. It's into the pits for Grizzle. Unfortunately, Vader's out there. Vader's going quickly, as we are very used to seeing. However, it must be said that Vader did have a significant challenge from Tequila Monkey at the end of the race last time out. That was quite a surprise, different from our shakedown, where Vader was imperious throughout. as we have a fairly significant wind as well, an easterly wind, 3.6 meters per second wind on the circuit. Hopefully that is at least stable for the drivers and won't gust or move around too much. Here is then on board with Vader to try and improve on his time, but it's a 126.133, his fastest. That was a charge lap that we just ran. Let's hold then with Vader with qualifying halfway complete. Vader has a car just on the periphery of his horizon there. We've got a car waiting off on the asphalt runoff on the exit of turn 3, and we're going down towards turn 4. Surprisingly fast entry, and then it opens out, does turn 4, with multiple lines, and you'll see drivers jostling left and right to get the ideal line into this turn 5 hairpin. It's Grizzle directly in front of Vader, and the traffic is really adding up now for Vader. He's been using his overtake button here. Short shifting, Vicinity stealing his line slightly there for the entry, but Vicinity seemingly trying to get out of the way. The Grizzle didn't see that Vader was coming through faster than both of them, braking heavily down, 1/4 of a second down, slower than his best time so far, and that is almost certainly down to Vicinity's positioning. And again, really difficult to get the car out of turn 11 and 12 here tonight, it seems. Just the car getting very light as you head out of the apex of that turn. Then we go through and out of the final corner, and couldn't recover any further time through that next lap. So Vader's time stays. He's now half a second clear of Tequila Monkey, who is pushing hard on this lap, it seems. There we have, pushing the overtake button, heavy braking. There is your sector time, and it is the best so far. It is half a second better than he's been before, and it is enough to take the pole position potentially. 90 Trez has gone in between himself and Vader here, so put himself on the front row provisionally. 3 minutes to go on qualifying here before we go into our race, of course. Again, just micro adjustments on the exit of the slow corners from Tequila Monkey. This Circuit de Catalunya challenging every aspect of a car's handling. It was good enough for second place, and he's 1/10 of a second only away from Vader's provisional pole position. That lap, a 1:26.239 for Tequila Monkey as we rode on board with him. How are the rest of our drivers doing at the moment? Well, Vader has run out of boost, so he's not going to be able to challenge for a lap on this particular lap. We have 13 drivers for you right now. Zad Soldat will be desperately hoping to lift himself away from the ignominy of starting in the last and final position. Enigma joins us tonight. He wasn't able to join us in round 1. So Enigma, we look forward to seeing how he races. One of our racers from the United States. Of course, we also have Canada well represented. We have Mexico. And then, of course, for Vader, this is a home race as well. Zad Soldat and QT are Dutch drivers as we power out of the final corner. Then, and across the line for Zad Soldat, that's a 6th place, 127.176. Revelit is hoping to hold up his teammates' fantastic pace at the moment. Revelit for Darkside Racing, only 7th right now and 1.9 seconds away from his team leader. He'll be hoping to try and improve. Tequila Monkey has taken pole position, provisionally at least, as Vader has seemingly no boost to answer, and he's off the circuit as well. Only just enough time. I'm not even sure there is enough time for Vader to come in, so Tequila Monkey takes pole position. A 1:25.853 for Tequila Monkey. Fantastic stuff. He's got first. You have to finish on his dash area on the inside of the monocoque. Arya is looking good as well. Not right now, but is in 3rd position, and 90 Trez deposed down to 4th place. Arya's gone into the pits. No further time set by Arya. It is 90 Trez then, who will get round to be able to start his final lap. But will he have sufficient overtake boost? He's slamming that overtake button all the way through. 3rd place for 90 Trez, and that will be all she wrote for 90 Trez. I don't see Vader being able to use any boost here and fight for a better position. Obviously, Tequila Monkey has also drained the boost allowance. Here comes Revelit to cross the line, and it's 5th place for Revelit. That was the fastest time right at the end at 26.771. Rogue Grizzle just manhandling the car out of turn 5. All the boost is gone, so I don't anticipate this lap is going to be anything particularly special. Zad Soldat lifted himself. He's now in 7th position. We have Soul Shock in 8th. What can Woe Grizzle do as we get to the sector update? And it's the fastest yet for Woe Grizzle in the middle sector. A 008 improvement for himself over the lap so far. Woe Grizzle, having used all the boost, he'll struggle out of the final corner, I would imagine, in comparison to the laps that have already been set. This then the final lap of qualifying, I think. Mounting and climbing the curbs, trying to get back off those curbs as quickly as possible. The gravel trap was incoming. He avoided it, and it's 3rd place for Woe Grizzle, taking Team Cabbage Corp up to the 2nd row. And here we have then your provisional grid. It is Tequila Monkey for the Azul team, with Vader deposed for the first time in Super VoRmula Racing to 2nd position. He'll have the slightly ill-favoured run down to turn 1, but potentially the outside of turn 2. Well, Grizzle in P3. Then we have 90 Trez in 4th, Arya in 5th, with Revelit in 6th, Zad Soldat in 7th, and Soulshock in 8th. Next up comes QT, host and league manager here, and managing to bring his car into 9th place. Then we have Mario in 10th, Jose Diaz, Vicinity, and Enigma at the back of the grid. Some 7.7 seconds off, but I don't think we have seen all the performance possible from Enigma. Will be on for the race very soon for you, of course. I will keep an eye on our driver chat area, as well as the race control chat that we will see. Of course, we may end up with a particular notification. I just need to keep a good eye on everything. So lots of sporting comments coming in, and thank you for the other comments as well on the stream so far. Unfortunately, I've lost my live chat on my second screen, so that's kind of annoying. So I can't catch back up with it. But thank you to Reed. That was very kind. And we'll be ready to get going for the race. We're going to go for 32 laps in the Super VoRmula car. Should take us a good 45, 50 minutes usually. And Zad Soldat was not happy with 2/10 up. Why doesn't it let me finish the lap? You get 30 seconds, says QT, to finish the lap. Unfortunately, the wind speed is increasing. Not ideal for the drivers, so we shall see whether that affects them. The wind has also rotated slightly towards the north from a westerly to a northwesterly wind. The drivers will have to just be aware of that. A direct crosswind going into turn 1, and it will upset the car. And I'm thinking particularly through turn 9, where you're almost flat. You are over a crest. You've got a lot going on in turn 9. Blind exit as well. And now you've got a crosswind pushing the car even further off the racing line. So not going to be easy for the drivers. Look out for mistakes in turn 9, potentially turn 4 as well, I wonder. But we keep seeing drivers having problems going through turn 11 and 12 as well. So as I said before, this track challenging every aspect of the race cars. But it's time to go racing here at Super VoRmula. Remember, this is a PSVR exclusive channel and racing league. Sandra says, let's go Azul Racing. Azul on top at the moment, but championship favourite Vader in second place away from the start. It's 5 lights on. and it's dropped the clutch, and go, slight hesitation there from the pole position sitter Tequila Monkey, which allowed Vader to steal a march straight into the lead. Aya following suit and playing the team game here, but it's Wo Grizzle in 4th position, being challenged by QT up to 4th position. How on earth did QT get up to 4th position in that beautiful Tamiya Racing Factory car? Wo Grizzle also being caught out now by the Revelit Team Darkside car on the inside, and Revelit making his way through, also now challenging for the next position up, and that will be for 5th place. Vader has first, Aya second, Tequila Monkey from pole down to 3rd position and 1 place behind teammate. And there was another drama happening there with 90 Trez being swamped into turn 5 left and right. He was absolutely caught between several different options as they snaked their way through now and have their first taste of a new wind direction, crossing the track across turn 9 and down towards then the final sector of the racetrack. Vader leading Aya from Tequila Monkey here on screen. The pole sitter deposed at the moment, but the gap's opening up. QT, what a start for QT, and on the medium tyres as well. Remember, the drivers have to change compound here in Super VoRmula Racing. QT just getting things a little bit crossed up. Cold tyres, medium cold tyres as well, struggling their way through the Mickey Mouse section of final sector of the racetrack. He is going to, I'm sure, lose a position here to his brother potentially as they go sidewall to sidewall, not just wheel to wheel, do the two brothers, but Zad Soldat does get ahead and sweeps his way unceremoniously straight into 4th position. Tequila Monkey, 3rd place with Aya, now the team leader at the moment in car 14 for the Azul Racing team, who are tied on points here for 1st place in our nascent championship here at the moment, and certainly looking in a great position here for that to take the lead outright of the championship if they can hold on to 2nd and 3rd positions. Soft tyres for the top 3 for cars there, including Zad Soldat. Then comes QT on the mediums, and Wo Grizzle as well for Cabbage Corp in 6th place. He is also on the medium tyres. Expect them to be able to run longer into the race. We have calculated the fuel so that the drivers should have to conserve a little bit or go for a quick splash and dash towards the end. This is the all-new livery then of Skynet Racing, a chrome and kind of explosive middle section here with a dark red tip. We need to delete someone for using dark red. We've got quite a bit of dark red going on, but I do like the chrome engine cover and an interesting detail there on Solshock's car. So as the cars just get settled into their grip and conditions, Solshock has moved forward because he's on the soft tyres, I do believe, and he will need to move further forward if he can. We've got Revelit in 9th. We've also then got Mario for the Vortex Racing team, just getting a bit of a snap on there through the first couple of corners. Vicinity in the Skynet team as well, down in 11th and on the soft tyres. Then comes Enigma for Vortex with Jose Diaz uncharacteristically at the tail of the field at the moment. Must have had some problems away from the start, but on the medium tyre, and there's still plenty of racing left to go. There though are your top 3 all in a line coming down the back straight of the circuit as Tequila Monkey is just snaking his way on the brakes into turn 10. Right now though, Aya not letting Vader get too far away here. So the Azul Racing team starting to kind of work together. They're on the same strategy though. They will have to be aware of when each driver decides to want to pit, but 9/10 of a second separate each car in turn here in the top 3 as they then start to drift away in a big way from 4th position Zad Soldat, who himself then very much on his own with the medium tyre runners behind him. Let's just check out how that is all looking. Zad Soldat in 4th here for the South Red car. South Red team manager not racing, it seems, tonight. And then you've got a absolute gaggle of cars. You've got Solshock on the softs, And then where Grizzle and 90 Trez are going side by side towards turn 4. Helicopter getting a good view of that. 90 Trez into 6th place now. And looking to try and make a good defence in the Tamiya Racing Factory versus Cabbage Corp. I see Cabbage Corp collecting more sponsors as the racing season gets underway. I can see a brand I don't recognise there, Bimbo, on the side of the car. But a mistake from Grizzle allows Revelit through. And this is the championship leading team, Revelit, in the Dark Side racing car. So the engineering is certainly sound. But another driver just getting a little bit excited through turn 10. And there goes Revelit spinning. And unfortunately, we've caught him doing a reset to track as well. This wheel spin, absolutely characteristic of a restart using the PSVR and, of course, the Super Formula cars. It is kind of normal to see that, but Revelit, unfortunately, being caught out on stream there with a reset to track. Vicinity versus QT. Let's see this one down the start-finish straight as Vicinity in the new team Skynet with the new livery takes that position. Vicinity into 8th place now on the soft tyres with a small advantage over QT in terms of grip right now, but that won't last very long. Car number 42 into 8th place. Up at the front though, the order still the same. Vader, Arya and Tequila Monkey down here in the midfield. Vicinity has just got ahead of QT with Revelit recovering from his little mistake coming out of turn 10 into 10th place himself. But he's now 26 seconds away from his teammate after only 5 laps. Enigma is 11th in the Vortex car. And then at the back of the grid, we've got Mario closely followed by Jose Diaz. Jose Diaz bringing the car in nice and slowly and gently on the medium tyres. So expect Mario, expect Jose, all of the problems aside, to be able to run a little bit longer than the rest of the drivers on the same strategy. Aya in second, again using the slipstream, not allowing Vader to get too far ahead or too confident here in the car. Vader has had to use quite a lot of overtake boost here, may have been using it at the start, which is why we saw him, I mean his launch was better anyway, but we saw him start to gap the 2 Azul cars, who likewise have picked up some more sponsors. I can see they've even signed a blue chip company, Sony, to the team here as well. True Force, Logitech, and being well represented now. Perhaps Tequila Monkey starting to feel like he's being held up here as Arya has dropped slightly from Vader. Just cooling the tyres maybe, but certainly eating the tyre wear on the front left. Arya, you can see, just struggling through turn 9. That is where you will see those problems come to the fore, and possibly a little bit of lag running on Tequila Monkey's car as he appears to be hopping around. He's going to have to give a little bit of extra space. You would normally give space to your teammate anyway, but certainly doesn't want any netcode or any glitching to cost the team valuable points. They're on for taking the lead of the championship if they can secure the result like this. Arya steps aside, but they almost collide. Tequila Monkey just to get ahead, using the overtake button slightly. Arya quite happy to let teammates move into second place for now and try and protect the tyres and run through to around 1/3 distance if possible. Around lap 11 will be the aim for the soft tyre runners. It looks like we're going to have clear skies and dry conditions for this race, of course, in the Catalunya circuit of just outside Barcelona in Spain. Home race for Vader. Vader will be absolutely committed to winning here today. Wouldn't want to be racing around his own home circuit and getting anything other than maximum points. Tequila Monkey has unlocked some pace, but unfortunately that little switching of positions between the 2 Azul Racing Team drivers has cost them time to Vader, who is now dialing up the speed. Oh wow, Tequila Monkey, he held the car, but coming out of turn 9 is where the wear rate on the tyres really showed up there. Little sideways action for Tequila Monkey under traction. That'll just give him cause for slight concern, just to think about whether he can manage the tyres a little bit more effectively, but gapping his teammate now, and very keen to try and find a way to get hold of some of that slipstream off the back of the Super Formula car in front of him that leads the race. That's Vader on lap 8. Zadsoda still on his own, but it looks like 90 Trez has picked up the pace now on the medium tyres and is starting to reel in Zadsoda. The gap between the two, 2.9 seconds. Just further back on the racetrack were Grizzle. We're waiting to come through in 6th, and then we find Vicinity in 7th place on the soft tyres. Just drawing the focus out. Come on, director. It's QT in 8th place, followed by Revelit in 9th. Soulshock is in 10th place right now. Enigma some 5 seconds further back in 11th place. And then we wait to see Jose Diaz. And then finally Mario, who I think must have had a problem because Jose Diaz has gained 10 seconds on Mario as they head down towards that first corner. We're heading towards the first pit stops here for the soft tyre starters. And Vader, his lead being reduced, but only slightly, down to 2.5 seconds now from 3.3 seconds last time we were watching them. For those of you new to the channel or new to this particular league, we're here to race in the PSVR02 headsets, an exclusive championship just for that and for the Super Formula race cars on the Gran Turismo 7 platform, if you're wondering as well, if you're not used to these graphics or layout. And my name is Webbo. I guess you could generously call me a co-founder of the league, but really it's all about QT and Zadsoda, who ran the F1 Braun test in the previous season on this channel, and have expanded out to, due to popular demand, expanded this championship out to additional races, and they've been forming a fantastic community. We've also formed, of course, 7 brand new racing team franchises. And it's going to be fascinating to see how the drivers and teams develop throughout the course of the season and seasons to come. Tequila Monkey in 2nd place. Arya has dropped down 4 seconds now. Really spent everything out of those tyres early on. I might be considering an early tyre stop now for the medium tyres. Feeling a little bit uncomfortable out there perhaps, but 9 laps down, and we have a total of 32 to race with today. So, as I mentioned, you'll see the drivers just about on 1/3 usage of their fuel tanks. That's engineered so that the drivers have to think about the fuel slightly towards the end of the races, and of course the cars also get quicker and quicker throughout. Let's ride on board then, shall we, with Zadsoda, who has little to do in terms of battling in front, but he's just trying to maintain that gap behind. This camera, probably the closest in terms of feel that we will get as spectators in the PSVR2 system, because you can see the head movements as the driver and this camera naturally looks towards the apex of the corners. That's exactly what the drivers will be seeing. The bravest of the drivers that we have will be racing with the halo upright in the middle of their cars as well, so they'll be really hampered by that. But of course the beauty of the PSVR system is that you can turn your head, which you can't do when you're racing on a static camera. You get all the bumps, you get all the sensation of speed, and most crucially, of course, you can use your mirrors to really help. You can see now, just using the overtake button in Zadsoda, there was a time when Zad would save everything for the last couple of laps, and sometimes even finish the race with extra boost remaining that he was unused because he left it so late to use that boost. But starting to use a little bit now down that back straight, just to maintain the gap to the car behind, but into the pits. That was an in-lap then from Zadsoda, so an early stop on the end of lap 10 for him. as well. Grizzle will come through and take that position. The drivers do have an early decision to make here, of course. Do they decide to put a little splash of fuel in, or do they decide that come what may, they are reaching the end of the race without that extra fuel? Just going to have a quick look then at the livery up close of the Cabbage Corp car as we run through. Looks like Wayne Enterprises are sponsoring them, which is great. Well, Grizzle, P5 at the moment, medium tyres, in a good position, but 28 seconds off the lead of the race. Looks like we've had a swap at the front. Tequila Monkey has certainly got himself even further ahead of Arya, and is now certainly within a sniff of potential little bit of slipstream on the back of the leader. So Tequila Monkey has been driving slowly but surely and finding his way to match and even better the pace of our race leader at this stage, though that front left is looking quite alarmingly worn at the moment. 93 pits. Just checking out the difference in tyre management here on board for Vader. It's a very similar situation to Tequila Monkey. They've completed lap 11. They are on lap 12 now. And the gap dropping bit by bit. And I think now the pace is slow enough that the drivers will be starting to think about a pit stop. Will Tequila Monkey elect to do the opposite here that Vader does? Very much later on the brakes is Tequila Monkey. Now that might cost him at the apex, and therefore his launch speed out of the corner. But certainly within a second now, steering hard right to get to widen out the corner coming, and into the pits comes Vader. So Tequila Monkey does do the opposite, elects here to try and have a fast final lap and perform the undercut, certainly within range. And there you see, using the overtake button as well, just to maximise this in lap. Into the pits then comes Vader with 56% fuel remaining as well. He's been pushing hard, as Arya has 60% fuel remaining into the transition between lap 12 and lap 13. This is where Tequila Monkey will be earning his money. He'll be pushing incredibly hard now to try and get that undercut working. The undercut, of course, sorry, the overcut actually means that you pit one lap later and have a fast lap while your opponent is in the pits, and crucially is having a slow out lap on new tyres. But the question is, have you left enough grip in your tyres to make that final lap before the pit stop work? We shall see. Tequila Monkey, that is a second away from his best time, but that is slightly quicker than, certainly his last lap was much quicker than Vader's previous lap. So let's see as he heads on into the pits. I'm imagining he'll just basically shred that front left and destroy it. Into the pits we come then, and it's Woke Rizzle in second place, having not pitted yet. But really the race is between Tequila Monkey and his pit crew versus Vader and the Dark Side Racing pit crew. Vader is still struggling slightly out of turn 10, out of the slowest corner on the racetrack. And look at the marbles that Grizzle was having to run into. Vader with a big tail snap coming through turn 12 and 13. So it definitely hands the advantage here to Tequila Monkey if he can find his way out of the pits smoothly. And I think he is on his way. That is Tequila Monkey out of the pits. What an undercut that was. Absolutely incredible. Surely that's insane. An 8-second gap he has opened up. So I'm assuming Vader had a problem, but Arya hasn't overcut Vader either. So looks like that was Tequila Monkey and his pit crew performing an absolute miracle to get out in that position. Well, Grizzle still yet to pit, but he started on the medium tyres, so we'll perhaps go through to about 12 to 11 laps to go before the end of the race. So around the lap 20 mark will Grizzle be aiming for here, and that will be pleasing Victoria, who is watching on. But tell you what won't be pleasing Grizzle or Victoria is the behaviour of Mario there, not really yielding as a back marker in P13 and getting in Grizzle's way on a fairly crucial moment on the race. Tequila Monkey leads from Grizzle, who has yet to pit, from Aya, but Vader's had a problem and Aya has overtaken Vader. So Vader on these new medium tyres is probably like working really hard, and he's actually about to get overtaken by Vicinity. Vader on cold tyres is absolutely struggling right now, and I think we saw something similar on new medium tyres in the previous race. Vader suddenly, all his pace has gone. He's trying to get used to these slightly slower, slightly less grippy tyres, and it becomes a negative spiral. You go offline, your tyres get a little bit dirty. It means the next corner's harder. Maybe you go further offline, maybe you put a wheel in the gravel. That tyre is then ruined, and then you've got to work even harder to keep temperature in the tyres, keep everything running as smoothly as possible. Slowly the pace can build again, but what you find is when you come into the pits from soft tyres onto a harder tyre, it is a big adjustment to make, and it suits some drivers more than others. But Vader, it's almost like his team have fitted the wrong tyres, because he is having an absolute mare of a couple of outlaps here. He has lost 15 seconds to Tequila Monkey over the course of the last 3 laps, including the pit stops. I think he may have put some fuel in, but then I imagine so did Aya. So Vader with a heck of a job to do now. Tequila Monkey can actually also start to manage the gap. Being in the lead, he can now start to manage the pace and just make sure that Vader, any gains Vader makes on one lap, he stretches out and extends the next lap. So really a very interesting situation for him. Ivan Alejandro Felix Carabantes says, Cabbage Corp, vamos, tote. So nice to hear from you, Ivan. And yeah, we can see Cabbage Corp in second place with Woe Grizzle right now, and he has now got to come up against the back marker of Mario, who was not giving a great deal of consideration here to the leaders, to Tequila Monkey as he came through, to Vader as he tried to come through, but the blue flag should be flying for Mario. Let's actually see if that's the case. He has got a blue flag, and so he's being told to give way to faster drivers. But at the moment, it's not happening. Sorry about that. Small glitch on the controller. You can see Arya now watching on. So Mario is slightly quicker, I think, because he's probably on newer tyres. But he would normally have every right to race at his own pace, but he is being given the blue flags, and he chops across the nose of Woe Grizzle, who has to be very careful here. I think some of the drivers will have a few words in the paddock later on with Mario. Just make sure he knows the standards expected of him, because this is now driver number 2 that he has held up. Aya will be absolutely loving this, because Aya is going to catch Woe Grizzle. They might both be Canadian, but they're going to be racing hard with one another. Mario is quick out of the blocks. Aya draws alongside Woe Grizzle for second place, gets the inside line, but slightly later on the brakes. Woe Grizzle sweeps around the outside. That was pretty smooth from Woe Grizzle, just allowing Aya to have a go down the inside, but making sure that Woe Grizzle got to the apex. Aya really struggled through that phase though, lost out to Vader and 90 Trez, who have got ahead. So Vader's now picking up the pace, but still 16 seconds away from former rival Tequila Monkey and the Azul Racing team running first and fifth right now. Here comes 90 Trez in the Tamiya Racing factory car, and he will run side by side with Vader, who has the inside line through the majority of the corners here. What's up next then? Down into turn 10. Hardly any boost left for Vader, so when he reaches Tequila Monkey, he's going to have one fewer tool to use to try and action that overtake. So it's going to be really interesting whether Vader can even make it back to the front. But if he can, I think it will still be advantage Tequila Monkey. The fuel is burning off. A micro yellow flag there as Mario has finally got out of the way of the third and fourth place drivers, and 90 Trez continues to hound Vader as Grizzle puts a little wheel into the dirt there and kicks up a little bit of dust for the following drivers. Vader looking a little bit smoother now, certainly got his tyres up to temperature and clean, a little bit wide coming out of turn 3, opens the door through turn 4, and certainly 90 Trez didn't need a second invitation, straight in. There was 90 Trez. Vader muscling his way alongside, decides to back out of it, doesn't want to claim a position like that because he knows that he could be subject to a steward review after the race, so gave up the task. 90 Trez into third position now, and appropriately enough there in the Tamiya Racing Factory car. At the moment we have 4 different constructors in the top 4, which is fantastic, but Grizzle has not pitted yet. 90 Trez, Vader, Tequila Monkey, Arya, Zad Soldat, all on the same strategy, and then we should have a slightly different mix in the remaining cars. 90 Trez, P3, and catching Grizzle, who is on the old medium tyres now, versus the newer medium tyres. Should be a lot easier here. Still half the boost remains on Grizzle's car. 90 Trez has plenty of boost remaining. Wasn't tempted to use too much here. He though, and Grizzle, nearly 17 seconds away from the leader, Tequila Monkey, who had the pole position right at the death of qualifying. Lost places at the start, down to third, but has recovered, and after the pit stop, through the pit stop period, round the outside for 90 Trez into turn 5. Lovely move, and the Tamiya Racing Factory car working well, but as I say, with a slight tyre advantage in terms of age over Grizzle. Grizzle though will be quick later on, however you have to add another 20-25 seconds onto his race time as things stand for his pit stop that is imminent, and we're getting to about the pit stop time then that the drivers who are going to use the soft tyres at the end of the race will be planning to use. Grizzle in third, Vader down to fourth after leading this race for the first period, certainly the first third up to the pit stops, and then it all went a little bit pear-shaped for Vader. Really struggled on the way out the pits. In then comes Grizzle for a new set of soft tyres. Arya inherits fourth, and we'll be hoping to try and pick up the pace, get themselves onto the podium, and get a double podium here for the Azul Racing team. Grizzle down to 6th at the moment. Will Revelit manage to get through and past? Yes, indeed. So Revelit for the Dark Side Racing, who are now 3rd and 6th. And Grizzle right down now into 7th place. So 19 seconds. Make that 45 seconds from the lead of the race is Grizzle. 6.8 to the car in front. Over 12 seconds to the podium for Grizzle. So quite a bit of work still to do. Now Arya closing in on Vader. The car's looking very good here in the Spanish sun. So they'll be looking good in the rain and murk and mist, and hopefully in the dark later in the season. But I think the long-range forecast for the Spa race is showing that we might get some rain in Spa next time out. We have a sprint and a feature race next time, So that is going to be very, very exciting. For now, though, it's round 2 of the Super VoRmula Championship, the very first season of Super VoRmula Racing. Arya very much within striking distance now as Vader's car is sparking down in the bumps on the approach to turn 1 into the braking zone, where these Formula cars compress under the incredibly stiff suspension. They compress down so close to the ground that they start to spark and bump. Revelet is now in the pits, so Zad Soldat will be in 5th place, with Grizzle in 6th, and then presumably Revelet will go even further down from the lead. Let's while there's a small gap between the drivers, although it looks like 90 Trez is actually closing here. Oh, he's closing on Enigma, so it is 15.9 seconds to the lead for 90 Trez. I was getting a bit worried there, but no. 90 Trez in 2nd, Tequila Monkey leads, with Vader 3rd. Next up, Arya in 4th place. We have Zad Soldat still on his own for the Safrid, the Team Safrid car, on his own in terms of representation here tonight for Team Safrid, on his own on the circuit. He's not been as quick as the top 4, and he's not been as slow as 6th plus. So out in no man's land right now. Grizzle, fresh tyres, fresh soft tyres as well for Grizzle. Can afford to use plenty of fuel. He's got plenty left to go, as we have about 11 laps plus the end of this one left to go for you. Vicinity is in 7th. No one around Vicinity, ironically enough, with QT in 8th. Again, QT dedicating a lot of time that could be better used for practice to the running and administration of this league. So we owe a very great debt to QT for giving that up. He, in the F1 Braun test, was challenging with Zad Soldat for the title all the way through the F1 Braun test earlier in the year. You can see those races, as you can see the earlier races of this championship here on this channel. Then we've got Revelet in 9th, Solshock in 10th. Jose Diaz is in 11th and has, I believe, well, he's almost been lapped down into 11th place. Then comes Enigma, and Enigma racing in the Vortex car. Mario in the Vicinity livery. No, excuse me, it's Vortex 12th and 13th. The fastest lap so far lies with 90 Trez at just under 90 Trez seconds, 1 minute 26.362. But expect those times to tumble towards the end of the race. We have soft runners finishing the race. Here is then 90 Trez into the pits. So he took those tyres a long way, but he's going to two-stop this one, I believe, with Vader now into 3rd, promoted to 2nd place, but losing so much time to Tequila Monkey on those medium tyres. He lost out in qualifying for the first time here, including the shakedown. And Ivan says, Vamos Jose Diaz, who is known as Tote from Mexico. So great to hear. I love to hear those extra little details, so always fun. Arya just getting a little bit of wheel spin there, coming on out of turn 3 and into turn 4, but hopefully cleaning that one up a little bit. In 3rd position then, only 1.2 seconds away. Whisper It is a 1-2 on the cards here for the Azul Racing team, I wonder. Certainly, if Arya's got anything to do with it, that will be the intention for sure. This is Webbo, your commentator, and this is live on my channel, as you can tell. If you like the commentary, get in touch. I am a paid-for pro commentator, and I hope to be of service throughout this Super VoRmula Championship and others around. It is Arya who is in 3rd place. This is only round 2 of 10, although we have had 2 previous races, one including which was a shakedown event, as the drivers were getting some TV time for their brand new sponsors. 3rd position for Arya, catching Vader. This one could be quite something. Vader has used nearly all of the boost. Equal tyre performance. If anything, Arya was slightly later for the pit stop, or has been slightly better on the tyre wear. And Team Azul, what a turnaround between rounds 1 and 2 for Team Azul, who can try at least challenge for the top 2 positions on our podium tonight. Of course, catching is one thing, passing is another, as the late great Murray Walker used to say. But a lot of the challenge is in the catching in Formula cars, because the aero wake effect is so strong and so disruptive. Oh, you're running wide, and there is exactly what I'm talking about. Losing clean air off the front wing drops the performance of the wing, and all the little aero flicks on the car. And suddenly through turn 9, especially now that the wind has built up to 4.4 meters per second through turn 9, it is definitely going to be an even bigger challenge getting through around that corner. With a touch of counter steer coming out of the penultimate corner, but now within 0.6 of a second. That is absolutely possible to have a go into turn 1, especially if Aya can use that overtake on a lap soon. But the best battle, I think, on the grid at the moment. There is a tight battle for 5th and 6th potentially, and we'll see how this battle runs for now. Aya is really struggling, especially through turn 3. That is the second time we've seen that rear left of the car lighting up. Zad Soda has to pit with 8% fuel remaining. Zad Soda has to pit for a splash and dash, and maybe a new set of soft tyres. Aya now, just as in the first stint, seems to certainly have on their to-do list, train for pace throughout the stint, not just at the start, because having closed up to Vader is now suddenly struggling in the lower grip conditions and the later portion of the 2 stints, and that's exactly what happened in stint 1 as well. And there again, Aya struggling with counter steer and trying to get out of turn 10, and it looks like a lot of the fight has gone out of this particular battle for now. Let's go down and have a look at Woe Grizzle versus, well, I would say versus Mario, but that's just in lapping Mario for the second time then for Woe Grizzle. So Woe Grizzle is 5.2 seconds away from 90 Trez and 4th position. Catching up with the rest of the grid then. Here is Vicinity in the Skynet Racing team. Appropriately enough, in chrome and red. Cyberdyne Systems Skynet. You should see their race suits and helmets. We won't see them unless they get on the podium or win, but they have gone for Terminator-esque race suits, which is very cool. Here is his teammate then, Soulshock. Just watching his teammate get a little bit leery on the circuit and go wide. Then we have Zad Soldat in 9th position, having just pitted, put a little bit of fuel in, perhaps overfueled slightly, with about 7 laps plus this one to go. Then we have Jose Diaz in 10th place for Cabbage Corp, having lifted himself up here from plumb last on the grid. So a good performance throughout the race, but has now been lapped. Then we have QT losing out at the moment, and again another driver who I think has pitted twice, who has only just come out on new soft tyres. So expect QT to be quick now, as Mario has got himself into 12th place and teammate Enigma dropped to 13th. Zekriz says, come on Woe Grizzle. There is a lot of love for Woe Grizzle out here on our track, on our racing, and he's in 5th place, obviously bringing the audience in, which is great to see. I can see the Team Cabbage Corp merch flying off the merch stalls, and people obviously tucking in to cabbage soup in honour in the pre-race chow down. We have Arya in 3rd place, unable now to really catch Vader at this stage. Just a few laps to go now, and plenty of boost remain on Arya's car, but they just want to stay with Vader and use that boost when it really matters. Hunter's Hut says Cabbage Corp kids are here. Would that make you Cabbage Patch dolls? No, too much. for those, I see people frantically Googling Cabbage Patch Dolls now. You're welcome. On the medium tyres, Aya has absolutely destroyed that front left again, as they did to the soft tyres. I think at this tyre wear rate, we might have been thinking about a two-stop race as well, and it could have been slightly better for the Azul Racing team to split the strategies. Aya may have done better here, using 3 sets of tyres rather than 2. Might even be thinking about it now as well, with an 8-second gap to 90 Tres, and then a further 6.6 to Grizzle. But it is a fairly expensive pit lane in terms of your stopping time. Just trying to see on Grizzle's car whether they have got the mandatory Webbo comms there. We have got a mandatory Webbo comms sticker on the car. Just see it on the nose below the number 11. So I was going to, and on the back wing as well, very good on the end plate. I was going to have words, but that's good. We want to make sure that everything is as it should be in the league. We're Grizzle in 5th place, Canadian. We have Hungarian Team Darkside driver Revelit in 6th place as well. And a very international grid we have. Predominantly English speaking, it has to be said. And I do count the Dutch among some of the best speakers of English in the world. But Tequila Monkey leads this race now by 26.6 seconds. A fantastic second stint, and you have to say, in and out lap procedure for Tequila Monkey. And there he is at the top of the standings right now. 90 Tres has the fastest lap still. Tequila Monkey has so much boost remaining, but he's not going to be able to use it to nab that fastest lap unless he gets on with it. We have 3 laps to go, including the one plus the one that we are on, and we've just started lap 29. It's Aya still in 3rd position, still the closest driver to another on the circuit, certainly in the top group here. There is Aya again on turn 3. What is happening to Aya's left side of the car through turn 3? Is that just planting the throttle too early? Is that a some sort of foible of their particular setup strategy, I wonder? Really strange to see that happening lap after lap on the Azul Racing car. I don't think I've seen it on Tequila Monkey, but Aya is clearly struggling with the car here. Massive tank slapper through turn 7 and 8, and will perhaps now be no longer worrying about 2nd place and be entirely concerned with holding on to the podium. 90 Tres catching here on new soft tyres, has a gap of 3.4 seconds to Aya, but with Aya struggling to hold down the car, 90 Tres has a chance here at the podium, and he will be gunning for it, I'm sure. Very keen to bring the Tamiya Racing Factory a podium today, if at all possible. Racing the Honda and using half a tank of boost he has sitting in reserve here. And look at the rate of acceleration and catching here. That is now down to 2 seconds to Aya. So looks like the battle for 2nd place is over. The battle for 3rd has only just begun. It is lap 30 of 32. This is round 2 of 10 here of the Super VoRmula Championship. I will make sure that I give you the full breakdown of what to expect and when for the next race as well. More racing begins on this channel next week, 8 PM UK. Look out for that. We have an all-new season of Formula 1 racing to bring you. So a subscription to the channel would be both very welcome from me and very useful if you like your Sunday evening racing, come what may. Ninety Tres is right on it now, super close to Aya with plenty of boost in hand. 90 Tres, it's the United States versus Canada. It's Tamiya Racing Factory against Azul. And surely now, using the boost, Arya, a little bit of a weave. I'm assuming Arya is also using the boost as they go wheel to wheel. Oh, wow, some side swiping going on. Let's give the benefit of the doubt to netcode and lag there, but 93 takes third position. And it looks like we are on for 3 different constructors in the top 3. And dare 93 start to dream about second place? His rate of catching was immense, and he's still got a quarter of a tank left of boost. Vader, virtually nothing, and a 3-second gap then. A lap and a half to go for our leaders here at Circuit de Catalunya outside Barcelona in the great nation of Spain. Beautiful day, as very often is in Spain. Possibly even a Scorchio day in Spain, as Vader gets down into turn 10. 2.9 seconds later, 93 does the same. It might be too little too late, but 93 will be able to catch a huge chunk of time out of the final corner, you would think, using the boost. Some drivers sometimes are listening to the comms live. I don't know how they do it, but sometimes they do, so I try not to give too much away in terms of electrical deployment. 93 will have the benefit of a small tow off the back of Enigma's car. Enigma peels to the right. 93 using that overtake boost and is now 2.3 seconds away from second position. Are you doing the same? Enigma trying to mind his own business and bring the car home for the team. Still get points, of course, here at Super VoRmula for a finishing position and a healthy dose of points as well. Still, though, 93 with the fastest lap and trying to get hold of that second position. But Tequila Monkey heads down the back straight down into turn 10 for the final time of asking. He's got vicinity between himself and Vader. Vader may come under threat from 93, but Vader, I think, has held on to a bit of boost. Look at Tequila Monkey. How about doing that with style? Hardly using the boost. He's got a fuel light flashing, managing the fuel to absolute perfection. Tequila Monkey, pole position, and the win in Spain. What a great race from the British driver for the Azul Racing team. Here comes Vader then, out of the final couple of corners, trying to manage that front left tyre. It's been a real struggle tonight, the tyre management for drivers on a one-stop. It is a high degradation circuit here in Circuit de Catalunya. It's going to be close at the finish. Vader has to accelerate smoothly within the limit of grip on the way out of the corner, and he gets to second position. 93 in third, and Arya, a tough race there on the tyre management in fourth. Well, Grizzle will bring the Cabbage Corp team plenty of points tonight in fifth place, and he's happy about it as well. Thanks to the team passing the checkered flag. Here comes Vader's teammate Revelit. So it's going to be a new championship lead for the Azul Racing team, finishing first and fourth. Revelit is going to be the last of our finishers to cross the line, I think, on the lead lap. So in sixth place, here comes Revelit for the Dark Side Racing team. Good day's work for them. Zad Solder in seventh, Vicinity eighth, Soulshock in ninth, Jose Diaz, QT. Mario has yet to cross the line ahead of Enigma, who was lapped, and Tequila Monkey then, your race winner and your pole sitter, taking home a lot of points tonight, but not the maximum, because 93 held on to that final fastest lap award. Brilliant racing from the drivers. Fantastic audience engagement. Thank you so much to everyone who's been watching. Before I read the official results, please leave a like on the video and take home with you my thanks for fantastic enjoyment tonight watching alongside with you, and thank you for joining us live here. Pole position and the race for Tequila Monkey, as I said. I'm just going to save the race in case there are any post-race disputes, but and I appreciate that comment from Hunter. So thank you so much. Tequila Monkey wins the race on a race time of 47 minutes, 16 seconds, and a best lap of a 26.552 and pole position. So Vader came home second in the end, but 26 seconds away from Tequila Monkey. Vader I think will probably come home feeling a little bit unhappy from his home race. 90 Tres in third with the fastest lap, as we said. Arya in fourth, leading home fellow countryman Woke Rizzle in fifth for Cabbage Corp. Then comes Revelit in sixth, Zad sold out in seventh, and Vicinity in eighth place. We finished the race with all the starters. Soulshock in ninth, Jose Diaz in 10th, QT in 11th. Something went wrong with QT's race, I'm sure that was a two-stop, and then further problems later. Mario in 12th. May have a slightly difficult few hours here in the driver chat room, thanks to his blue flag ignoring. And then Enigma came home last of the finishes, 2 laps down, but still picking up points for the team. Thank you so much to everyone who has joined us. Thank you if you've joined us post-race and left a like or a subscription. And thank you once again to QT for organising all the drivers. We will see you next time. It will be the 30th of June, 2 weeks time, at the normal time here on the channel for the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps, a feature and a sprint race. Potentially, we might be looking at a little bit of rain and a slightly longer race length of 8-lap sprint, 22-lap feature around that long circuit of Spa-Francorchamps. Until then, we will see you next time. Thank you so much to everybody. This is Webbo, and I will catch you on the next race day.